The next part of right triangle trig is now to move into trig ratios. Sorry, right triangle trig. Obviously, of right triangles, we looked at Pythagorean theorem. Now we're going to look at the trig part, the trig ratios. We have a right triangle again. What we're going to do is we're going to pick one of the non-right angles and call it theta. You can call it alpha, you can call it theta, you can call it whatever you want. I'm going to call it theta. Once you choose an angle, you want to label the sides opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. I find it easiest to always label the hypotenuse first. Remember, the hypotenuse is always across from the right angle. So you can turn the right angle into an arrow and label the hypotenuse. Then you want to imagine, okay, in reference to this angle here, which side is opposite and which one is adjacent or beside? So I can see in reference to this angle here, this side over here I would call my opposite, and this side here I would call my adjacent. Beside is the same as adjacent or next to. So I have opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. It's always in reference to that acute angle, so and hypotenuse. If Pythagorean theorem, if right triangle trig has been complicated for you in the past, don't give up on it. I promise I can get you to understand it this year. So don't put in your brain that this was hard for you and you don't get it. Trust me, you can get this. Don't give up. Let me know if you're having trouble in class and I can help. So then we learned something called SOHCAHTOA. You've probably heard of this before. And what that's referencing is that we can say that the sine of an angle, so it's always sine of an angle, cosine of an angle, tangent of an angle. Sine of an angle is equal to the opposite side over the hypotenuse. That's what O and H stand for. Opposite over hypotenuse. Same with C. C stands for cosine. So we can say cosine of an angle. It's always of the angle is equal to the ratio of adjacent A over hypotenuse. So we have A over H. And then finally we have T TOA. T stands for tangent. We write it as tan of an angle equals O and A. That means opposite side over the adjacent side. Okay, so below we'll work with these three trig ratios.